Tyler, obviously this morning, shocking news for the sport of triathlon, but you deciding to move on to the Ironman. What was give us some of the background on why the decision was made to move to the longer version?
I guess I just perform better at the longer version. So it's one of those things that am I representing myself and my country and my family well by going to races and making up the numbers, or am I better off to go into races that suit me, that I can perform well at. So I wouldn't say I'm like, it's not like I'm not representing triathlon and I'm not representing Bermuda. I'm just not representing them at the Olympic distance. I'm very much still representing Bermuda and triathlon and around the world. It's just not it's not on the Olympic stage, which I would have loved to have done, but it's just at a certain time you have to be realistic. And I'm not 20 anymore. I'm not traveling around the world. I'm trying to base out of homes with family, and as well, to be honest, they're just too fast. So I'd be on best looking for a top 30 performance. And over the history, I mean, in Athens I was 35th, and in London I was 34th. And it's the question is that really a goal that's worth committing 2 years to be in the 30 number in the Olympics? And it's a big commitment. Whereas there's other races that it's achievable to win, or place in a higher position, and because of that, represent everyone at sort of a more, what I'd call as a higher level.
Now, obviously, this was not an easy decision. How long did it take you to come to these terms of wanting to do the Ironman full time?
Yeah, I mean, since, I guess even in 2014, it would creep up now and then. It was sort of hard to go do. I did two ITU races in 2014, a World Cup in Mexico and the Commonwealth Games. And again, the Commonwealth Games, I was happy, but I finished 20th, and it's sort of like, well, I wasn't really able to be 100% for that race, and then try and be 100% later in the year. I was just spreading myself too thin, and the World Cup went quite well. I was happy with 8th place, but at the same time, the younger guys are just that fast, and I'm trying to race younger athletes that are in their prime at that distance, and then at the same time I'm racing people who are fully committed to Ironman and have already done the ITU and done well. The 2008 Olympic champ, he's now switched over to Ironman, and he doesn't do any ITU races. And he's far more talented and a far better athlete, and he's already committed 100% to one distance. It's just the reality of I've probably done it longer than most people. I think a lot of people were amazed that I could go do Ironman in 2009 and 10, and then make it back to London in 2012. And I just know the sort of shock it takes on the body to keep switching back and forth. And it's not easy, and I'm not doing myself justice or anyone really justice by trying to do something that's not really, it's not a smart decision to try and do two distances, especially in 1 year. And so it was sort of a dream that I didn't want to shut the door. So it's been on the mind for a long time, but it's just after a bad end to 2014, it's sort of rung home that I might only have a few more years left in total, that can't be spreading yourself too thin.
No, I spoke with Judy Simons, the president of the Bermuda Olympic Association, and Jennifer Gunn, the president of the Bermuda Triathlon Association, earlier this morning. Judy paying you tributes, saying that you're one of the greatest sports ambassadors of the country, that she's been around for quite some time. Um, in the press release, it was noted that you've relinquished the sponsorship from the BOA and the BTA. What about your sponsorships with the others like Tokyo and others around?
Yeah, I mean, I know my Tokyo. I've yet to. It's sort of. I haven't heard if there's any problem, and they were happy with the last. I think it's 5 years now that we've been going on. So as far as I know, we're still excited about 2015. I haven't, because I'm in Australia and I had a few health issues. I found out I had a parasite at the end of the year. So I've been fixing those the more health issues, trying to stay injury free and get rid of the parasite were the main priority. And then this decision on what my race schedule will be was priority. Over the next, in January and February, I'll make sure that all my sponsors are happy. I know certain sponsors are more interested. I know my bike sponsor, Cervelo, which is a Canadian brand. They're funding me solely for the Ironman distance. I mean, they didn't mind that I was doing ITU racing, but they want me to represent their brand well, and they'd much rather race results that are sort of first, second, third than to be making up numbers in the ITU ranks. They have other athletes they sponsor solely for ITU results. But for me, they really want to see a good result in Kona. They came on board as one of my major sponsors after 2013 result in Kona when I got seventh. But Tokyo is my main sponsor. All my sponsors, I think they just want me to represent them well and race well. The hard thing with the ITU racing is it's solely for the purpose of making the Olympics, and so that's why it's such a specific with the Bermuda Olympic Association. Their funding was to get to the games, so it's a bit different because it's not a normal sponsorship. It's a funding for getting to the Olympics, and it's a great tool. My career wouldn't be what it is without them. So not only do I have them to thank for my ICU career, but my career in long course is because of the funding they gave me as a younger athlete. And hopefully there's other athletes that will benefit from that system. Like it wouldn't be possible for me to be a professional triathlete now without some great sponsors like Tokyo Free Millennium, without the BOA, the BTA's support. But the BOA has been helping me ever since I was a young athlete with the junior grant, and then leading into Athens Olympics in 2004. So they've always been behind me, supporting me, and I have them to thank for my career. I've always had family support as well, so I have to thank my dad for the position I'm in now. To be a professional athlete is a dream. And to keep chasing dreams of winning big races and representing Bermuda well. And it's thanks to these systems. And you need all the systems in place together to make it. And that's what I've done. And I'm happy with my career in ITU racing, and to say that I've been to 2 Olympics, 3 Commonwealth Games, and 2 Pan American Games has been a great run of the shorter course racing and representing Bermuda in the games. But at some point you have to say, are you fast enough, and can you continue this? And the answer is, I'm probably not fast enough. I could just scrape by, but it's not worth it. You never want to just be scraping by. You want to be doing things that you're passionate about and that you're excited to do well at.
Now, last question, Nikki. She's thrown her full support behind you. She's taken a break yet again. But having her around, how much support is that, both at home and when you go out to train and then compete?
yeah, it's sort of what you have to look at what the better athletes are doing. I mean, I know the one of the athletes, the guy who won the 2008 Olympics, is now racing long course, and he has a physio traveling around with him full time. He does everything, as well as his wife is supporting as well with the earning race results that she was going to bring in. So it wasn't, you couldn't really say, well, it's paying off a huge amount when you're bringing in the race results and the income from racing, but then it's going straight back out the door for someone else to look after the kids. And Nikki just said, when the kids are young, I'd rather spend that time with them. So there was a lot in that decision, and I think Nikki's happy. I mean, she'll always look at races and be like, oh, that would be fun to be in.